Good.
Welcome to the Blended Mamas podcast, where we talk about co-parenting, the good, the bad.
The funny and the sad.
I'm Maria, I'm the stepmom.
And I'm Sam, I'm the mom.
And today we decided to talk about
reintroduction, kind of.
So it's going to be like our co-parenting relationship that the internet hates. Because if there's anything we've learned over the past 3 years, it's that while we have so many incredible,
awesome besties.
I don't want to call them fans, but like people that just like follow along with our life and they encourage and they love what we do and how we, how we're blended. We have some pretty passionate haters too.
Oh God, yeah.
Who were like really opposed to what we do. So,
which I don't understand.
I don't understand
their logic. Like I really don't get it
at all. But so we kind of want to talk about like our co-parenting relationship, our friendship, how it all began.
Where it all started.
We haven't done one of these in a long time.
A very long time. So, for those of you that are kind of new, we did start this page back in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Our anniversary when we actually spoke about it and took like our first pictures and everything like that was this past week. Due to us being busy and a lot of crap happening, we kind of like forgot.
Missed the day.
Yeah.
But it's our 3rd year anniversary week. Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is the week.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Good thing we're not in a relationship, or we'd be.
I know we both. No, we both be fine because we both forgot. Like, wasn't our anniversary the other day? Yeah, I think so.
She's like, "Oh, you forgot."
I was like, "Oh, you forgot.
You were here." Okay.
Well, I know, and then together. We were together, so it does count. It does count. Yeah. But I figure. I mean, me and you have both actually got a lot of hate equally.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
And it's always the same shit, though. Like, no one has a different narrative on it. And it's like, it just gets to the point where it's repetitive. And it's like, oh my God, can someone else just come up with something that's like, I don't know, funnier?
Yeah. No, truly. Because in the beginning, when we started posting like videos and stuff and they started to go viral, we actually started going viral more on TikTok first in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And that's where we got a lot of our hate also. Yeah. And that was hard. And that wasn't until like we had been doing this for like 10 or 11 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like right before our first year.
Yeah.
Of doing like first full year of
people were straight up hating you during that year. And then the second year, I got a lot of fucking hate. Yeah. I even got someone that told me to like kill myself. Mm-hmm. I was like, you first, bitch, but
people are literally the worst. And then when I was pregnant, it was like, I was a whale.
Oh God. No, we're hogs too now. Yeah, apparently we're hogs too.
A lot of fat jokes.
Yeah, and it's like, bitch, I can lose weight. It will take a lot of money to fix that ugly face of yours along with your ugly ass attitude. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry.
So yeah, that's kind of like the things we've gotten. Like there's a lot of people think Sam's like the crazy lonely baby mama who's just sticking around because she has nothing going on in her life, which is stupid. And then, or they think I'm like a downgrade, and we've heard those
You're
are like
trying to take my place.
Yeah, like we've heard those things so many times now that it's actually gotten to a point where we can kind of just really brush it off.
Funny, yeah.
Unless we're like really in a mood. So I find if something else happens like in my life and I'm in a mood, I just have to open our comment section, and then I have plenty of people to take it out on.
Yeah, I've done that too. I was like, did you see this one? Did you see this one? I'm going to go at it.
Oh, damn, she's on a good one today.
Yeah.
Like, she is, so.
Because I usually, if I'm in a bad mood, I try my hardest not to take it out on anybody else that doesn't deserve it.
But
so when I go on our Blended Mamas page, and like, I remember going off one day, like, but it wasn't like I was like, how can I put it? It was like I was mad, but I wanted to like I was probably like the Joker status where I would hurt you and then I'd laugh about it because it's not going to hurt me.
I've learned that the best way to respond to trolls now is to make a joke out of what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we've come to in the last, 6 months. So Sam will go on to be like, oh my God, you're so right. Wow.
Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna
or like that one Bible person, I was like, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Yeah, it's always the super Christian people. You go, they say something terrible, and then we'll go look at their page, and they're like,
Corinthians something, yeah, or John something. And I'm like, good Christian women. Something like that.
So Christian of you.
A lot of men too.
Yeah, totally. For some reason,
I think a lot of the guys get more mad.
This is what it is. It's that we're both pretty, and they could never have either of us. So they're just angry.
As I'm drinking a beer on fucking, I'm like,
that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what they're angry about. Yeah. No, my favorite on Facebook lately has been to just respond with funny gifs, like Schitt's Creek.
I fucking love him.
What? I don't know his name.
Daniel Levy.
He has the best gifts out there are him. So like, someone said something stupid. You're just like, oh, like you guys must have met at Weight Watchers. And
is that even a thing?
Yeah, I guess Weight Watchers is a thing still. And so I put a gif of him going like, yep, and then like leaving. Like sure thing.
Like that's Sharon. Literally like honestly, that's all anybody can really kind of go on is the fact that we are both women, for one. We both get along. Yeah. We're not ugly. Right. I mean, I've seen my pictures that some of y'all take. I don't appreciate that shit. But that's besides the point. We both like have loving relationships with our kids. Mm-hmm. You have a good relationship with Carlos, of course, being married. I have a good relationship, with him being his friend and co-parent. Yeah. But I feel like because I'm single, that's why people have to say something. Yeah. But in reality, I've actually been dating off and on for like the past 3 years. It's just I'm the type where that's private for me right now until I see where it goes. Right.
It would take a lot. No, it's actually really good we talk about this. Yeah. Somebody brought it up actually because our Facebook really popped off this week. So we have a lot of new people. And if you're one of them, welcome. So glad you're here. But they asked if you were single, or if you were in a relationship or anything. And I didn't respond. But I was like, that's probably something that we should.
I think a lot of people are always curious about that. Yeah. When it comes to
because she's been in a couple relationships. We have met, I think we met one of your boyfriends.
Just one.
And, he was nice, whatever. Yeah. But it's kind of like it would have to get from Sam. This is not me talking. From Sam's perspective, she wants it to be a little more serious before they're ever introduced to you guys. Yep. Because this is like a big deal. And then it kind of goes out there. Yeah.
Not only that too, like it's not like only for everybody to see being like, here now shut the fuck up. It's not even about that at all. It's more or less like I kind of cringe a little bit. I'm not trying to judge, or really I'm not. But I cringe a little when I see like people that I even follow, or even like celebrities or anything, the love of my life, and then 2 months later they're with a different person, the love of my life, and then another 2, I'm not like that. Right. So if I bring someone to, on here, it's because I already got the okay from Jaden, the okay from us, the okay from my family and my friends. I need to make, and from them too, because I will never ever post. Not okay. Yeah, I will never ever disrespect someone's privacy like that.
So there's a lot to take in. Yeah, on that. But yeah, right now Sam is.
It's complicated. Shit, I didn't think I was gonna say this right now. Well, okay, okay. So I am
dating.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm dating. So I am dating. I have met like a few people. I hook up with people occasionally when I feel like it. But as far as like me being in a relationship, it's no for right now. But I am talking to someone and going on a date today, actually. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I'm very, very much guarded, and I have high standards, I guess, and I also have a lot of boundaries too.
There's just so much.
There's a lot that goes into dating me. I know
we
that
need
sounds
to
fucked
do
up,
the
but
single
it's
mom
just
dating episode for sure, because
it's a lot to handle, believe it or not. Like,
especially when you have a kid, you know, like there's
a
so
teen,
much more.
a teenager.
It's not just like some cute little kid that you can be like, oh yeah, this is my friend.
Yeah,
you know,
you like them. It's fun and it's easy to play with.
It's a very in-tuned teen who knows what's going on and has opinions. So,
and doesn't even want me dating. I asked her, I was like, is it, what if I ever want to get married? No.
Yeah.
Straight out. Even now, I can ask her literally right now, and she'll be like, no. I'm like, fuck, all right. I want you alone.
And I always tell her,
I want you alone.
What if your mom wants to be happy with somebody and she meets someone really nice? She's like,
okay, I don't know how to take that. That's so fucked up.
I'm like, let her love. Let me
love, damn it. I even tell her, like, let me live. She's like, no.
Yeah.
But I know her, though. It's more or less because of the fact of the past.
Yeah.
Just the one relationship, I feel like it fucked her up.
Yeah, it did.
To where she didn't want to see me hurt ever again, and I feel bad because I even tell her, I'm like, I'm the one that got hurt. I know you did too. I was like, but I got hurt, but doesn't mean that you have to stop loving people or, finding love or being in love or anything.
And it doesn't
mean
it's always going to be that way.
Yeah, I was like, people are different.
It's a hard lesson to teach a teen.
Especially one that doesn't want to date anybody because of that.
Yeah.
You know, so it is kind of hard, but I mean.
So there's all of that.
No, she'll grow out of it.
There's all of that. So yeah, that's the answer to that.
It's a lot of fucking pressure for me, okay?
But yeah, so how do we become friends, Sam?
Well,
it's kind of funny because we were cool with each other before Carlos and I were ever a thing.
Like way before.
Yeah. So like we all worked at Starbucks and
not at the same time.
But like Starbucks is like a little, especially around here with the Starbucks here at that time, it's like a little community of people, so everyone kind of knows each other through it.
Yeah.
So I worked with Carlos, so I knew of Sam because I would see her come in and interact with him and get coffee or whatever. Like we knew, like, oh yeah, that's Carlos's baby mama.
Yeah. Plus, I had a lot of friends that also worked there I didn't,
with So like she was like not like a common topic of conversation, but I heard her brought up, and I knew like, oh yeah, that's so and so's friend, that's Carlos's baby mama. Like I know.
Probably not in a good way either.
No, nothing crazy. So I went out downtown one night and with one of my friends, and she like, I don't know where she went. It was a wild night. I don't know where she went, but I was on the dance floor and this guy was dancing behind me, and I was like, ew, I literally don't even know who this is, and he's not cute. And then all of a sudden I just see a big old ass in front of me dancing on me. And I was like, what the fuck? And it's Sam. And she turns around and looks at me.
Oh my god. Like, mind you, we first saw, me and an ex-friend of mine had seen her at the bar. She's like, oh, there's Maria, let's go say hi. I was like, okay, does she, like, I knew she worked for Carlos. I was like, she probably fucking hates me too, because a lot of people didn't like me that worked with Carlos. And it was because they all thought that I was the one that cheated, all kinds of shit. And I was like, actually, victim, thank you. But I was like, fuck, I just already was prepared from like the beginning. I was like, everybody's gonna hate me because they work with Carlos, and they're like, he's so nice and blah blah blah. I was like, well, he don't like you, believe it or not, because he
won't tell you.
Yeah, he's just being nice, but in reality he don't care for you. Like that's where I thought it was funny. I was like, y'all think he's your friend? No, he's not. He don't like you. But I was like, fuck, okay. Like I was already prepared. I was like, all right, she fucking tries to give me attitude. I'm good. Even though like we would say hi. We would say hi too. But I was like, okay, but that's like
she at this
work.
Thing in her
it's at work. When you're at work, you have to be nice.
Yeah.
But when it's outside, I was like, okay, I just have to be prepared. That's all it is. I went up to her. We talked a little bit, like all of us, and then we're like, all right, we'll see you later. We walk around, and then I see her on the dance floor, and then like some guy, and he, like, I don't know if it's like us women that just know when a guy's being a creeper.
Yeah.
but I could see it on her face too, and I was like, "Come on, let's go!" And I grabbed my friend, and I was like, "Let's go to the dance floor." And that's when I just went up to her, like I was like, "Just watch." And I literally squeezed my ass.
She scooted me out of there
in between both of them, and then he's like, "You want to dance?" And I was like, "No."
But I do remember after that we went out to the patio and we all talked.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, "Oh yeah, I know you are. Like you're Carlos's big mama."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh yeah, you heard shit about me." And I was like, "No, not really." Like.
And in my head, I was like, "Fucking liar."
No.
I know for a fact she did.
Not at that time. No, it wasn't
during that time.
It wasn't until I started dating Carlos that everyone was like, "Watch out." But it's really, we were talking about this actually on the way to the zoo last weekend. What's important, and I feel like everyone should take into consideration, is just because people around you are talking shit about that person, like Carlos never actually said anything bad about Sam to me. None of that ever came from him. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, that's who I'm dating and that's who I trust. And he's the person that has to co-parent with her.
Yeah.
So why would I take other people's opinions to watch out over him literally not even
like saying anything
about it? Like to him, what he told me of Sam was, you know, she's probably one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
And he's like, if she wasn't my, you know, Jaden's mom, she'd probably be like my best friend in a weird way. But now we're like, kind of embrace it, you know, it's not a weird thing now. But back then it was like, so it's funny.
It's
even
so
back
weird.
then it was hard for him to say that, and now it's like, oh yeah, we're all friends. Cool.
Yeah. it was hard for him to say just because of the fact that the way our story began, but also how it ended.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with the ending of it, it was really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in therapy for 2 years after that shit. That's how bad it was.
That's another common misconception.
Yeah.
People think that
it was me.
Wonderful breakup.
Oh God, no.
People will comment and be like, I mean, more like internet people.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh, you guys must have had a really amicable split. No, it wasn't. I wasn't around for it. Also, mind you, I was not around for that.
She had nothing to do with our breakup. I was like, what's she came years later.
I was like a senior in high school, dealing with all that at the time. So
don't tell me that, because that's when because I forgot you and my ex are the same age.
Yeah.
Ew. God no.
So I was
stop it right
now. In a completely different stage of life. Then.
Yeah, completely different. But like we always had agreed, like I said, it took a lot of therapy and a lot of just seeing everybody else's situation in front of me, and then seeing, even with like my own family, like with my sisters and all that stuff, like seeing what they had to go through. I had always said okay, and then what I had to go through too when I was younger. I mean, I'm not saying it was horrible, but just any kind of notion of it affecting a child is where it came into mine in his head, like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Whatever issues me and you have, it's between me and you.
Yeah.
I won't hold Jaden away from you as long as you don't try to fucking do that shit either.
Yeah.
You know, so that was like always like our main thing, was just making sure Jaden was never involved in our shit.
Yeah. So that's kind of like what I came into when I started dating Carlos. Is one, I already knew of Sam. I knew she was pretty cool, right? We had the fun interaction at a tavern. R.I.P. Tavern.
I know. Good old days.
I know. Yeah, and so to me it was more of like a green flag for dating Carlos, because I had dated other people with kids before, and it was like, I literally remember being out with that guy, and then he saw his baby mama's friends and literally disappeared. Like, I texted him and was like, what happened? He was like, sorry, her friends are here. Like, I can't be seen with you. And I was like, oh, we're done. So we're done.
Oh. So you cheating.
Yeah. So we're done.
We're done.
Yeah. So to me, it was like all good things. So when I came into the picture, like, we weren't friends right away, but when we did interact at like drop off and stuff, it was never bad. Like, we would say hi and talk and stuff. I remember going into the apartment. And,
oh yeah, she would come into my apartment.
You know,
and then even have like conversations with my mom.
Yeah, because your mom was there.
Because my mom was living with me. Yeah.
And then Carlos's brother graduated high school, and so she came over for that after. Well, she went to the graduation, and then she came over afterwards for like our family like party. And Carlos and I weren't even married yet, but
no,
it was a fun night. Like I remember, it was a good night.
And mind you, his brother is now going to be 23. I met him when he was 3.
Yeah.
For those of you wondering why I'm still involved with the family, I'm a very, very big part of their family.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, you guys. Like, I kind of came into the situation knowing like she's very entwined with his family. Mm-hmm. She is family. So like I kind of just kind of told myself like she's not going anywhere. Like why would I want any conflict? Mm-hmm. Like it just never crossed my mind to be like fight with her or anything, Mm-hmm. So it also happened kind of naturally when we did like really get close. So we kind of were like that. Like we would see each other at events and
just have conversations,
talk and have a good time. And then it was November of 2020 is when it all really took a turn.
Yeah.
So that's when you went through your breakup. That's when no,
because it was a month before. I think it was like October.
Because Jaden
had because she has IEP. I don't know what the acronym stand for, but it's something for
individual
schooling with
education
program or something like that.
Yeah.
So she has to go through. Well, during that time, she went through speech therapy, RSP, counseling, and I forgot what else. But there was like a lot of things that she had to do during the school year.
She has to work really hard at school.
Really, really hard. She works. This kid she's so fucking smart and she works very hard and I'm always proud. Even if she were to give me a D, I'd still be proud because like, she does try.
Hold on. Let me check to see if it's still recording.
Hold on 1 second.
I got a phone call.
Hold on 1 second. Here, I'll pause the timer.
It's good.
We're still good?
It's good.
Okay, cool. So, I had a good report. I went by myself. Carlos wasn't able to go, get off of work or anything like that. So, I went. It was good. It was great. They said that she was excelling. She was doing this. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the first time where I got like a really, really good one. And I'm like, I was excited. And I was like, I want to reward her. I remember I feel like she did so good,
we had a group text about
it. And I was like, oh my, like I was fucking crying because of how good it went. And because of the school.
That was during COVID too.
Yeah, it was during COVID because the previous school, it was never ever a good thing. So when I went to a different school, which I actually went to when I was her age, and I was so fucking proud because of like all the shit that I had to go through. Like I was like, oh my God, like half of this shit she didn't have to go through with the other school. I mean, no, half the stuff that she went through during that time, they're like, oh yeah, she doesn't need it here, blah, 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 and all this stuff. So I was like, oh my God, okay, thank you. And like, I was crying so much and I was so angry because I felt like the other school just totally failed me. So I was like, okay, I have to do something really good. I have to do something really good to show her when you do good in school, we will reward you, So I had called her. I was like, hey, so I was planning on doing something for Jaden and all this thing. I was like, I kind of want to cook like her favorite food. I want like us, just our family together. I'm not going to say I was the only one that ever initiated like, get-togethers with me and her. But I felt like I forced it in a way.
But I was happy about it.
Yeah, I was forcing it because I was trying to prove to Carlos that I liked this one.
Yeah, you're like
I swear, like it's not bad between me and you. Like we're good.
Yeah.
I was trying to show him good faith in a way, and I wanted him to be like comfortable with me and you talking and not having to like. It was more or less like I'm showing you, I'm showing our family, I'm showing even ourselves. This is possible.
Yeah.
And we're good.
Yeah.
So when I had told her, she's like, yeah. Your response was, I don't know how to cook.
I don't know how to cook. And I know Sam knows how to cook. So I was like immediately stressed. Like, oh shit.
I was like, don't worry. We're going to be fine. I'll show you. Like, it's good.
It was really fun.
It was good. We cooked wings and fries. we were there, and I had God, I had my nephew there, my Gingy, my oldest nephew. He was there. My mom was there. My ex was there.
Mm-hmm.
The guy I was dating during that time, though.
Carlos's mom and siblings.
Yes, and the his youngest brother's girlfriend, who's like,
I love her.
Apparently, I'm like her mom.
Oh.
Yeah, I adopted her, and I didn't know. And her Nina. You know, like everybody was there. It was good, and
it
like,
was really special because literally like 2 days before I found out I was pregnant with Bo, and it was a complete surprise. Like we had been trying for a whole year, and finally I was like really distraught, and I was like, I'm so fucking tired of getting my like hopes up every month, you know. So we stopped like tracking and trying and stuff. And I actually set up an appointment with my doctor to start going through like the infertility stuff, because at that age I was in my 20s. So they were like, yeah, you shouldn't be like it shouldn't take you this long.
Yeah.
So I literally had an appointment for an ultrasound and stuff to see what was wrong, basically, and start that whole infertility process. And then I literally thought I had a kidney stone or a cyst or something. And I was like getting out of my car. I was like, okay, it's fine. Maybe it's gas, like a gas bubble, right?
Yeah.
And so I get out of my car to go to work, and like literally like bent over in the parking lot, like stabbed. And I'm like, no, I'm going to the doctor right now. So, because it like, I don't know, it was so weird. It felt like he was stabbing me. Bo was stabbing me in the ovary, okay? So I go to urgent care that night, and I'm like, God, what is going on? Like, I can't get pregnant, and like I'm supposed to go to ultrasound, and maybe I should just wait for the ultrasound. So the doctor comes in, and he's like, before the doctor came in, they ran blood work and urine, all this. So the doctor comes in, and he's like, so tell me what's going on. So I'm like, I can't get pregnant, and now everything's hurting, and blah, you know, like I'm freaking out. I don't know what's going on. He's like, well, you are pregnant. And I was like,
are you sure?
What? He was like, were you trying? I was like, yes, I've been trying for like a whole year. I literally have an appointment to, and he was like, I know. He's like, that's awesome, you know. So then I remember like walking out of there and like calling and being like, oh my God. And I was like, I don't know why I'm going to cry. But Carlos was like, what's wrong? You know, because he was really worried about me. And I was like, I'm pregnant. It was crazy. But that was literally like 2 days before this whole like dinner thing. So it was really special, that whole thing, because I was like, okay, like we're gonna expand this family, and like things are really good. And so I just remember that night like feeling really, I was nervous because I wasn't drinking, and usually I do drink. So I was like, I wonder if they're going to notice, because I also didn't want to, they were worried it was going to be a miscarry because I was in so much pain. So I didn't want to share right away.
And especially being that early too, it's very, very touch and go.
He said, based on my blood work, I had just gotten pregnant like 3 days before. He was like, your HCG levels are like 40. And they go up to like hundreds of thousands, you know?
Oh, shit.
So, yeah. So it was just like a really positive time when that happened in October.
Yeah.
And then literally a month later, it was like crazy. Like,
yeah, I want to say it was the beginning of December. I was going through a lot of shit during that time. I went through a breakup. I lost my job. I was living completely alone. Like, my mom moved away. I spent Christmas alone, kind of.
yeah.
And it was a lot. When I was going through all that, I think it was right when they moved into this place that we're at now.
We moved in at the end of November.
That's when we were talking about like your pregnancy, and I was like,
Carlos just like announced it.
He decided, fucker.
I was only like 8 weeks pregnant.
He did that to me too. Remember I told you?
I mean, yeah. And I mean, after it was said and done, I was kind of happy because it was a really hard pregnancy. Like, I was really, really sick.
Yeah, you were.
So it was nice bad. Because I had a lot more community. Like, once everyone found out I was pregnant, they all were like, I had a lot of
what do you need?
People checking in.
Yeah. I would even be like, hey, are you okay? Do you want me to get you anything?
I feel like when our friendship really blossomed, because we really cared about each other. Because it was like, obviously I was pregnant. It was hard, but I feel like I was so worried about you because of everything you're going through. And it's not like, you know, I think that's what's different about us. Like, genuinely, like, we care about each other.
Yeah.
And so we kind of realized, like, we were texting every day. And we kind of realized.
Yeah, it became where it was every now and then during the week, like, hey, how are you doing? I'm just checking up on you. And I was like, I'm okay. You know, and then we would start talking about, like, everything. And then it got to the point where I would be like, hey, how are you feeling, though? Like, I felt not bad, but I felt like, oh, I was like, she's always checking up on me, but I haven't even asked her, like, how she's doing. Like, that's fucked up.
I'm pregnant.
You know, like, you pregnant, you know?
And then, like, and miserable.
Yeah, so then I would be like, hey, how are you doing? I've been throwing up. And I was like, oh, my God, do you need anything? Yeah. That's where I was just like, okay, it's a good distraction for me. But also, like, it just, like I said, I think it was because of the fact that Jaden had nothing but good things to say, which made me be even more like, okay, she is someone I have to worry about because my daughter worries about her, you know? Right. So then, like, with the whole pregnancy with Bo.
These are things that are going to affect Jaden.
Oh, like, yeah.
What happened? Like, the breakup affected Jaden. New siblings affecting Jaden.
Oh, so yeah, that was a huge thing.
It was a big thing that we all kind of talked about. And, like, it was also a big reason why we came together.
Yeah.
Because all of that made it easier for Jaden to process, like, what was going on. Because she was 9 at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about, and then she turned, oh, excuse me. And then she turned, like, 10.
We did her birthday party together.
We did everything. We did. And it was fun putting the bags together.
Yeah, it was.
Because I'm a very, okay, so.
It was also the drive-through birthdays.
Yes, it was during COVID. So a lot of people don't know, but I love doing, like gift baskets and, like, I love doing all that stuff. Like, I really do.
Yeah.
And me and her were sending each other, like, oh, should we do this? Ideas. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And, like, okay, I think this. And so when we did do the baskets and everything, we stood up, like, the whole fucking night.
It was fun. Well, I remember we watched a movie with Jaden.
Yeah, we're watching Raya. No, Raya.
It was Raya?
The dragon one, because I haven't seen it. I didn't see it, and I was so
we were watching
oh my God, shut up, Jaden.
While making all little party things, and it was just basically like a bag of deliciousness, right?
Oh God, yeah.
And yeah, it was.
And then the pudding cups. Remember, we did the pudding cups too.
But we
did
were
the
up
dirt
really
cups.
late. Like, Jaden, she went to bed, right?
Yeah, she ditched us.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna help you. No, this little bitch fucking ate, like, some of the candy. Was like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
like, that's fine. We were, like, eating the popcorn or, like, putting it in the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, this is a good movie. Like, watching a cartoon, mind you.
It was a good time. But that's kind of how it happened. And then, like, the Blended Mamas part of it, like, that was
you. That was all you.
I just remember thinking, like, well, I was really into podcasts at the time, and I remember thinking, like, how cool would it be if people could ask us for advice and they would get both of our perspectives, like Sam's perspective and mine. And it's even more special because we're not just a random, you know, mom and stepmom. We are, like,
actually together.
We're in there. You know? So I remember texting Sam that, and she was like, I'm down.
I've always wanted to do a podcast. I always actually wanted to have, like, my own for, I want to say, for, like, a couple years. And it was just going to be more of, like,
story times.
Yeah. You know, not just my stories, but, like, I would have people on and, like, you know, ask them certain things. It was going to be more, you know, rated R than PG-13. And
we've always talked about Blended Mamas After Dark.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys are into that, just let us know. We'll do it. But I was like, I've always wanted to do it, and I was trying to, like, kind of come up with, like, a good idea of what to do because I was still kind of stuck. And then she had hit me up, and I was like, yes, I'm down.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
So here we are.
I think, and then I think, like, after I had texted you that, you're like, okay, come over this weekend, and then we'll brainstorm or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, I'm down. And then we did, and that was when me and you, like, were talking.
Yeah.
Until, like, 4 in the morning.
That was a big moment. Because we, like, obviously had been friendly with each other and stuff, but there was, like, a lot that we hadn't talked about, you know, about like how we really felt about everything. And so I remember talking out like a lot of the insecurities I had about Sam. Like my big ones were like, are my in-laws going to love me as much as they love Sam? Like, or not even that, but like, am I going to have a place here when she's here still, you know? And obviously, like now I'm at this point where I know like my in-laws, they're just really loving people. So it's easy for them to love all of us, you know? And then a big one for me was like when I couldn't get pregnant, like it was really hard for me to think like, what if I never have kids? And then the only person that ever, you know, had kids with Carlos is Sam, but like I'm his wife, and it just like was a really big insecure part of me.
It's a lot.
And it was so funny because as we were talking about this, we realized that like
I did too.
Right, we had the same insecurities, but like the different like perspective. You know? Hers, you know, I don't want to speak for you, but it was
for me it was like, okay, I'm in this, but they're gonna like fucking just exit me out. Because I mean, seeing from, like I said, there is a little bit of an age difference between her and I, mind you, there is. So I've seen a lot of people go through just like, oh, like, yeah, we love them as soon as they break up, or excuse me, I don't know why I keep yawning.
It's because the beer. Blame it on the beer.
Yeah, it's the beer's fault. I'm not tired or anything. I'm not old. But it was more or less like, okay, I'm going to be exit out. Like, I'm not going to be around. They're not going to want me around, you know, like with Carlos's parents and everything like that. And like his sister too was like a big one for me. I was like, oh my God, like I was always around her. Like I helped her through so much. I've, you know, taught her how to do like her hair and all this stuff. You know, I was like, they're going to throw me to the fucking side. And I was like, Carlos is going to replace me. Like, it was pretty much like everything that she felt, I felt, but just the opposite end of it. And then like we both kind of just like realized that we're both just full of shit, and that was not the case, like, and it was, whatsoever.
It was so nice, like, and that's something that someone told me back in high school, was like, it's important to talk about those things that you're insecure about, because when you like bring them out, you realize how stupid they are. Like it forces you to look at them and to hear what you're saying, and you're like, oh yeah, that was stupid.
I think we were like laughing half of the time because we were just like, that's so
you
dumb.
Know me,
like, no, me too. Like, oh my God, like we were so dumb that day, and it was just like, it was good. And then we really kind of just said why we wanted to do this, and my reasoning for wanting to do this as well, and why I said yes so fast, was because of the fact that when you see blended families out and about, I've never heard a positive thing. Like, I didn't know this was a thing whatsoever. Yeah. And then as soon as we put like our story out there, I felt like we had a lot of people come to us and be like, oh my God, you guys remind me of Moms of Tampa. Oh yeah. But your story's different. And I was like, oh yeah, like ours is really different. Yeah. You know, and then with oh my God. The one, oh my God. The ones Lexi, why am I fucking blanking out on them? Lexi, thank you. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. No, I'm just going blank right now.
Well, and it was funny because, like, I think the idea too of why was because every time I would be like out and about with people, you know, or at like a party or something, we would get the like, oh, how are things with Jaden? How are things with her mom?
Yeah, it was always that.
And I just hated that tone because I'd be like, oh, they're good. Like, and they're like, oh, really? Yeah, they're good, you know? But yeah, I think people just had this notion that like stepmoms and moms shouldn't get along. I mean, that's the story we've all heard and been told and seen time and time again. So it was really cool to like start sharing and seeing how there was such a big reaction and people were really interested in it. And then obviously like through the page and getting together and doing more family things and like having the boys, and it's just like grown now.
Oh yeah,
like
it's
Sam
grown
is
a lot.
just like another part of our family. You know, it doesn't feel
I'm not a third wheel. Thank you.
Carlos is the third wheel. Let's be real.
And I feel so bad. What do I do? Because I'm like, oh shit.
No.
But mind you, we do like, he actually does help us out too with our page every now and then. Anytime that we do throw out like an idea, he'd be like, you know what, that does sound good, but what if you guys did this? Yeah. You know, so he's very much a part of
all this
and all this as much as we are. Yeah, and he's been very supportive.
That's the other thing. People ask like, oh, well, how does he feel? He's really happy about it. We actually have a whole podcast episode where he was on there talking about it.
Oh, so, yeah.
I don't remember the thing of it, but we usually say like, oh, baby daddy something. So if you scroll down.
I think he's been on our podcast twice.
2 or 3 times.
2 or 3, like a good amount of times.
Yeah.
But once again, like the way that I feel, she feels, like we're not going to force anybody to be on our platform whatsoever unless they're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Which is why too, we don't really have Jaden on anymore. So much, just because she is becoming like a teenager. She's going to be 13,
and her friends have Instagram and
stuff. So it's more or less like whoever wants to be on, you're more than welcome to. But other than that, no.
We're the ones that signed up for this.
Like we chose to do this.
Yeah. So, but yeah, everyone's really supportive and happy, and within our family,
our group,
you know,
our group. And it's just like, even he gets to the point where he's like, he'll laugh at like the hate comments like on us. He's like, what the fuck? Oh my God. I think he even commented a few times too.
I sent him one last week because I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
like because they roll off of my back now. Like they're comical to me at this point.
Yeah.
But he saw it and I sent it to him because I thought it was funny. And he got home and was like, don't do that when I'm at work. He's like, because I was so frustrated, and then I saw this comment. He's like, and I just thought about it all day, and I was like, I'm gonna go say something to him. Like, I'm gonna tell him where I'm at. Come meet me here.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, noted. I will not send them to you anymore. I thought it was funny. That's why I sent it. I didn't know you were gonna get pissed. But it was like a shit. It's like what happens, you know, when you have a shit day and then you see someone.
You just want to fucking take it on someone.
Here we go. You know.
No, that's literally how it is, and
so funny.
Totally valid too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that he is very much a part of this. As you know, we are not only that, but he takes time to kind of like, you know, occupy the kids too while we do this. So I feel like this page wouldn't be as successful
without him.
100%. Yeah. 100%. So I feel like that's a huge.
We're able to do this because we don't have to hire babysitters. And things.
No,
like, he's watching.
No, and I feel like, and no, none of us are in a 3-way.
Yeah, no, we don't.
No, we get a lot of that.
No judgment on y'all.
If you do it, hey, teach his own.
You know, but we don't.
I'm a selfish bitch. What's mine is mine. Don't touch it.
Same. I'm good.
Don't touch it. Even if I didn't claim it, it is still mine. Okay?
I'm good.
Yeah. If I'm dating it, it is mine. Like, you know, like I feel like a lot of people, and it's funny too because a lot of like the friends that I've had for like years that worked with me and Carlos, they follow us on here too. And they like straight up be like, yeah, that's Sam's response. Yeah, it sounds like Sam. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, she's not like that, you know, and it's like, it makes me laugh because I'm like, oh my God, you guys are going to out me one of these days.
So funny. What's the craziest thing you've heard about the Blended Mamas? Like, what's the craziest thing someone said to you about
it? Okay. Oh God, I forgot who fucking said this. It's gonna drive me nuts, but the one thing was that I'm obsessed with Carlos. Oh God, I'm obsessed with him like crazy, and that I'm trying to get you out of the picture. Yeah, that, you know, like you're just so obsessed with him. Like one of these days you're gonna try and get her out of the picture. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like you're just doing all this as a tactic to eventually.
First of all, no. If anybody. Let me tell you something. I am okay. I'm gonna clear the air right now.
Yeah.
I am a very lazy bitch. Okay, I'm fucking lazy. I am lazy in a way where I'm telling you, I have to force myself to go on dates because I'd rather be at home.
Yeah.
In my bed.
I feel that.
Watching TV or reading a book.
I feel that real hard.
I am not wasting my fucking energy or time to do this for years.
3
years and counting, mind you, to try and get a motherfucker who was toxic for me back. No.
Facts.
Our relationship was not fucking good. We were both fucking crazy. We were both fucking toxic for each other. Yeah. It was horrible. I mean, no, it wasn't really horrible. Okay, that's bad. Like, look, but it was horrible.
You got the best possible outcome, which was Jaden.
I got Jaden out of it.
Yeah.
That's all life wanted.
And you got me.
And Carlos did want like the whole like marriage and family and all that stuff. I actually really didn't.
Yeah.
I did at one point, but then like it kind of changed my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've always been very clear about that.
Yeah. Like marriage isn't your end.
And no, it's not my end goal. Yeah. No. Like I have other fucking shit that I want to accomplish in my life. Mm-hmm. Marriage, if it does come, it comes, but that motherfucker better be amazing for me to change my mind.
Right.
Because I have been like talked to about like marriage and all that, and the person that would always talk to me about it, I'm like, I don't see myself marrying you because you're like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like this. Like, I don't treat you right. Why would you want to marry me? You know, like in my head, I'm thinking that. I don't say it out loud because I'm like, you know, you treat me bad. I treat you so good. You know, no. But I will not waste my fucking energy on trying to be best friends with you to get his stupid ass back. No. I'm lazy. I'm lazy.
Crazy.
I'd rather someone come to me. Like the guy I'm going on a date with, you know, he kind of came to me. I'm lazy.
The craziest thing I heard on there was people saying that you are gonna hurt my kids. They'll see the videos of you with the babies and they're like, keep her away. She's gonna hurt them. And I'm like, that's the fucking funniest thing I've ever heard.
And that's like the furthest thing I would ever do.
When you said they think you're obsessed with Carlos, I was like, maybe Carlos Bonifacio, who is my son.
I love him. The only Carlos I'm obsessed with.
She's obsessed with my kids, like in a very adorable, loving way, you know? So that's the craziest thing I see, because I'm like, y'all are so...
I would never hurt them. Oh my God. She loves
them so much. Like, she walks in the door, and my boys are all like...
Oh, yeah, they smile.
They're ready. They know it's like fun playtime. Noni's here. We're going to get loves. We're going to get thrown around. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be fun. And we're going to laugh. We're going to get like, she's obsessed with them, you know?
Yeah. So I would hurt her and Carlos before I ever hurt the boys. I'm sorry. And I'm like not all about fighting anybody. No, like, I'm like, let's keep the peace. Let's try. Like,
no.
One day, I'll mollywop your ass.
One day, Carlos had the baby. And she was like, watch out. Like, he looks like he might fall. Oh, what happens? God. Baby falls, bonks his head. She was ready to beat Carlos' ass. Like, she was ready.
I remember Carlos looked at me. He was like, I'm like,
I was ready. I was like, let's both do it.
I was like, I told you that was going to fucking happen, as if he's mine. And I'm yelling at him like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Oh, gosh.
Like, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. With any child, like that one post that we have, you can have your baby around me. You can have your child. You can even have your fucking teenager around me. I will treat them like my own.
They're safe.
And I will also protect them like they're my own.
Yeah.
You best believe I will go to jail for any kid that's around me.
Yeah. Those comments just kill me.
Those comments are kind of funny because I'm like, y'all are fucking stupid.
Well, and it's like scary because I'm like, why do you think anyone would ever
like who hurt you?
Yeah, like
or who hurt your kid, or who did you hurt?
That sounds like you hold hate against kids and you would hurt them if you were in this situation, which is creepy. So
no, and anybody, even in my family, can tell you straight out, like when it comes to me and kids, I'm not like that whatsoever.
I think we're good to.
Yeah.
Wrap up. Yeah,
I think so.
Cool.
But yeah.
So that's kind of the story of us.
And some of the hate that we fucking get.
Yeah.
So stupid.
But we try really hard to post like 2 episodes here a week.
Mm-hmm.
We do a topic episode and a situations episode. So situations are where you send us your shitty situations, and we can give you advice on them.
Or preferably, opinions.
Yeah, preferably towards co-parenting. But if it's not, if you're single and dating and you're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, I would love to talk about that too.
I got you.
Send it in. So you can DM us on like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. You can also email us at theblendedmamas@gmail.com. And I'll put all of that in the little show notes so you can tap away and send us your situation.
And send us to everybody that you know.
Yeah.
We're fucking fun.
And please rate and review our podcast so more people can see it.
Yes.
All right. Have a great day.